Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mary, your exercise instructor for today's class of Stretch and Breathe. So we'll be doing a seated routine, and we'll be starting with a little bit of breathing. Now, before we get to our breathing, let's just run through our quick reminders about when to stop your exercise. If you feel any sharp pain with the movement, please don't do it. Just relax. It's okay to not do everything that I do. Listen to your body and work within its limits, okay? Also, if you feel that you're getting short of breath, or you have any chest pain, or you're not feeling well, lightheaded, anything abnormal, make sure you stop your exercise. And if you happen to be exercising by yourself this morning, it's always a good idea to call a friend and let them know that maybe you could give me a call in about an hour to check in on me, and that would be great. As well, we want to make sure we have our water bottle handy. I have mine just underneath the chair so it's not in the way. We're sitting on a nice sturdy chair. Try to come away from that backrest so that you're not leaning against the backrest. Let's do our posture check. Let's make sure that we have both feet on the ground, that we have our knees, which are in a right angle. So the feet should be, and ankles should be directly underneath those knees, okay? Now your hips should be at a right angle with your upper body and your thighs. So you're sitting up nice and tall, and you can always place something underneath your feet if your knees are sloping downwards, if the chair is a little bit too high for you. So we want that nice level thigh sitting nice and tall, and try to take those shoulders, press them back, relax them down. Sit with your head nice and aligned with that spine. So bringing that chin back in slightly and having the crown of your head reaching upwards, sitting nice and tall. Feel your weight even on both of your hips. So you want to feel those sit bones equally as you sit in your chair, and feel the ground underneath your feet equally. Now let's start with some breathing. Let's start by bringing the arms up in front as you breathe in, kaphe, and breathing out, bring the hands together, fuhe. Now let's open the arms up to the sides, breathing in, and breathing out, let the arms drop. Now let's just place the hands on your lap, palms facing up, and we can close our eyes as we take some nice deep breaths in. Through the nose, I want you to try to count to 4 as you breathe in through the nose, and breathing out, count to 4 as you breathe out through the mouth. So we want the inhaling and the exhaling to be as equal as possible. Let's breathe in through the nose, counting as we do. And breathing out through the mouth, counting. Let's do 2 more nice deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, you'll feel your chest rising, the ribs expanding, and the belly expanding as well. So if you want, you can put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and breathing in, feel that lift in your chest, expanse in the belly and ribs, and as you breathe out, feel the lowering of your chest and ribs and your stomach coming back inward. Let's do 2 more deep breaths like that. Concentrate on your breathing. Come up, belly goes out, and breathing out. Chest and ribs go down, and belly comes back in. Very good. Let's do another one of our breathing like we did at the start. Both arms coming up, breathing in. And both arms coming down, hands together, breathing out. Opening up the arms as wide as you can, breathing in. And lowering those arms, breathing out. Good. It's so important for us to check our posture and maintain this good alignment of all of our body's bones, muscles, joints, and ligaments. That way we're not putting any extra strain where we shouldn't. Like if we're slouching, we're putting extra strain on those back ligaments. And that can in turn cause back pain. It can cause backache. So you want to, as much as you can, remind yourself throughout the day to sit and stand nice and tall with your back, bringing those shoulders back and down, tucking that chin back in, and remembering to keep breathing. Now, as well, when we have not so great posture, we can get more tired than necessary because we're putting strain on muscles that aren't supposed to be working, right? So we want to always remind ourselves the basics of our good posture. Now, let's start by using our neck. We're going to take the head and we're going to push it forward, pulling it back, tucking that chin back in. You want to look forward while you do it. And you're going slowly forward with the head and slowly bringing it back in. Now I'll just turn my chair a little bit to the side so you can see what's going on here with my neck. So we want to elongate the neck and pull it back in. Looking forward so that chin stays parallel with the ground. You're strengthening the back of the neck, keeping the head in good alignment with the spine. Let's do a couple more of those, pushing the head forward and pulling it back. Notice how I keep looking forward and I try not to move my shoulders, only engaging the neck and head for this movement. Good. Now, I'm going to turn that chair again so you can see me again. And we're going to take our chin and bring it down to the chest next. Push the shoulders back slightly and feel the stretch in the back of your neck as you breathe. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Now sitting up nice and tall, check that posture and turn your head slowly to the right. As far as you're comfortable, holding that. And slowly now turning the head all the way to the left. Hold it just for a few seconds. Let's have our feet and our legs a little bit apart, like shoulder width. And you can always press through the ground a little bit with your feet as well. Now, let's take our head and lean it towards one of the shoulders. Try not to turn the head. Just allow the ear to drop down towards your shoulder as you relax and breathe. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Allowing the side of your neck to feel a nice stretch. And now slowly over to the opposite side, gently leaning towards one of the shoulders. Breathe. Just tilt the head as far as you're comfortable. Don't strain yourself to go any further. Good. Now let's let the arms go loose and lift those shoulders up. Breathing in, lifting, breathing out, lowering. Like you're saying, I'm not sure. Up and down. Let's do 3 more. Breathing in and out. And last one. Up and down. Final one. Very good. Now we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So let's use our shoulders and bring them forwards and up slowly, breathing in, push them backwards and down, breathing out. Forwards and up, back and down. Making those circles with the shoulders to loosen those up. Breathing in and out. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Very good. Now we're going to go backwards with our arm, with our shoulder circles. Back and up, breathing in. Forward and down, breathing out. Back and up. I suppose I don't need this. It's just getting in my way. So backwards and up with those shoulders, forwards and down. Take your time and remember to breathe in, going back and up, and out, going forward and down. 2 more times. Good. Now we're going to work on something where we bring our shoulder blade behind us. So I'm going to turn this chair so that you can see what's going on from the side. So we're going to straighten out our right arm, sitting nice and tall, and keep that arm straight. Now we're going to pull our shoulder back as far as we can, and we're going to reach forward as far as we can. So without moving the shoulders, without bending forward or backward, let's just use our shoulder blade. Reach, 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 and pull that shoulder blade back. Let's do 2 more. Reach, reach, reach. Pull the shoulder blade back. 1 more time. Reaching and pulling the shoulder back. Try to keep your arms straight. Let's do it with the left arm now. Let's reach as far as we can out with your arm and pull that shoulder blade back. Reaching and pulling the shoulder blade back. Let's do 3 more. Breathing as you go. 2 left. Reach and shoulder coming back. Last one. Very good. All right, now we'll turn the chair once again. But whenever I turn, remember you just keep facing forward. I just turn so that you can see me a little bit better. Now let's do a little bit with our arms, reaching out like we're going for a swim, making those arms nice and wide. Breathe. Now let's reach back. Try to bring the pinky finger back first, like you're swimming on your back as you reach into that water. But remember, if that is too difficult to reach back this way, just reach back down low behind you. Reach behind you. Good. Now let's warm up our elbows, arms out in front, and bending and touching the shoulders. Now flipping your hands over and try to keep those elbows lifted and bend the elbows this way. Good. Now reaching out to the side, stretching those arms out as far as you can, and flipping the hands up and down. Turning your arms inward and outward from the shoulder. Now let's take our wrists and do circles all the way around with the hands as big circles. Breathing. Sitting nice and tall. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's go the opposite direction with the wrists. Breathe as you warm that body up, all the joints getting awoken. Now let's do some with the wrists again by putting your arms out in front. Let's lift the hands up so the palms are facing outward, and then let's lower the hands down so that your knuckles are facing forward. All the way up with those hands, all the way down. Breathe. Now, if it's hard to keep your arms out straight, you can bring them back a little bit like this. Breathe as you flip those hands up and down. Let's do a little bit of waving. If you can, keep the arms straight and wave the hands side to side. And let's try flipping the hands down and waving them side to side this way. Let's straighten out the arms and make the fingers come apart, together, apart, together. Good. All right, now let's do a little bit of bending. So let's take our hands and put them on our shoulders. And just a little tiny bend to the side we're going to do. So wide legs, so you're sitting nice and tall with your back. Try not to lean forward when you bend to the side. Just a little bend. Breathing in, sit tall. And breathing out, a little bend to the side. Breathing in and out. Just bend as far as you're comfortable. Coming back up from. Feeling those side muscles pull you back up. Breathe in, kaphe. Breathing out, fuhe. Let's do a couple more. And last one. Very good. Relax those arms. Now make 90-degree angles with your elbows. So elbows stay at your side, hands in a fist, and let's open those forearms. Bring the forearms back in, keeping those elbows at your sides. Rotating the shoulders outwards as you bring the hands apart with those elbows tucked at your sides. Breathe. Let's do one more of those. And now let's take those hands back onto the shoulders. This time we're going to do some turning with our upper body. So sitting nice and tall still, let's breathe in first. And breathing out a little turn. You're noticing how your elbows are moving and your hips staying still. Breathing in. And little turn to the left. Try to be able to turn a little bit to the right. Coming back to the center, breathing in. And turning a little to the left. Breathing out. Let's do a couple more of those, slowly, and breathing. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Give those muscles the oxygen they need, and that gives them energy. Now, let's stretch those areas. So let's have some wide legs. Bring your right arm up and over your head, breathing in, and lean slightly. And out through the mouth. Now let's try that with the left arm coming up. You can hold your side with your opposite hand for support. Breathing in, bring that arm up, and breathing out, hold it over, leaning a bit to the right now. Feeling that stretch on your left side while you breathe slowly and deeply. Very good. Now we're going to turn our upper body again. This time we're just going to hold it a little bit longer. So let's place our hands outside your right thigh, sitting nice and tall, 2 hands on that right thigh, breathing in. And as you breathe out, gently turn. Try to look behind that right shoulder if you can. You can gently press on your leg inward a little bit if you're comfortable with that. And now to the other side, hands outside the left thigh, sit tall, breathing in. And breathing out, slowly turning that upper body. Try to glance behind you if you can. And breathe as you hold this stretch. Very good. Now let's work on our low back. So let's start by arching our back. So from the side, you want to see and feel the arch in your low back curving inwards, where it's natural to have a curve there. We want to support that curve when we're sitting a lot of times so that we don't have any pain there when it's not supported. You can always use a rolled up towel or a little pillow to support this low back when you're sitting against the backrest of a chair. So let's arch our back. We're pushing our shoulders back. We're slightly lifting the chin and placing our body weight at the front of the pelvis. So the hips are slightly pushing back. Let's breathe in as we feel that arch in the low back. And as you breathe out, tuck your chin down and round the back slowly, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. So you feel it now rounding outwards. Nice and tall, slowly breathing in as you arch the back. And breathing out, slowly rounding the neck and the back, pulling that belly button in towards the spine and feeling that rounding of your spine. One more time now, breathe in, nice and tall. Arching that back, weight at the front of the pelvis, and breathing out as you round, the weight transfers to the back of your pelvis. Very good. All right, now I'll turn this chair so I'm facing you again, and we'll do a little bit with our arms, bringing those arms up like a goalpost. So try to turn your hands for me so that I see your palms, and you have these right angles in your elbows. Let's bring those hands and elbows as close together as you feel comfortable, breathing in. And breathing out, opening up the chest and arms. Let's do a couple more of those. Breathing in and out. Last one, sit up nice and tall as you breathe in and out. Now let's try to keep our elbows in the same place and bring the palms down a little bit. Palms going back up and palms going down. Let's breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. Good. Now let's do our right hand, reaching up with that right hand. Try to touch the back of your neck if you feel comfortable with that. Now with your left hand, try to reach behind you and touch your back. Let's just sit nice and tall with this for a few moments as we take deep breaths in through the nose and deep breaths out through the mouth. Holding that position with one shoulder turning inward and one shoulder turning outward. Now let's release that and do the opposite. Bring your left arm up now and try to reach to the back of your neck. Straightening that elbow, pointing up, and your opposite hand reaching to your low back. Sit up nice and tall as best you can and concentrate on breathing equally. The amount of time you breathe in, you should breathe breathing out. So count to 4 as you inhale through the nose and as you exhale through the mouth. Again, breathing in, counting to 4 and breathing out. Very good. All right, let's use our legs a little bit next. So let's start by lifting the knees up one at a time, nice and controlled and slowly. Keep your stomach muscles engaged and try to not move your upper body, just the legs, slowly up and down one at a time with your knees. You can push the opposite foot into the ground of whatever leg you're lifting for a little extra support. Breathe. Good. Now, let's bring our leg out to the side and back. Right knee coming out and back in. We want that foot to stay underneath the knee and bringing your leg out from your hip. So that really opens up the hip. Remember, staying at the front of your chair will give you a lot easier time bringing those legs out and in one at a time as you breathe in and out, in and out. Very good. Now let's do a little bit with our heels. So we're going to lift the heels up. Try to sit nice and tall and squeeze your calf muscles as you lift and lower the heels. 3, breathe. 4, Check your posture. Make sure you have your ears just on top of your shoulders. The shoulders are back and relaxed down. And sitting nice and tall with the head as best you can. Let's do about 4 more lifts and lowering of those heels. And we'll move on to some work with our toes. Now, let's slide the feet forward a little bit. Let's start. I'm just sliding back so you can see my toes better now. So let's start by just lifting up the toes. Keep the balls of your feet on the ground and just lift those toes. Lift the toes. Couple more, just the toes by themselves, keeping the ball of your foot on the ground. Now, let's lift up the front part of your foot and keeping that heel on the ground. So all the way up, down, down. Breathe as you work your shin muscles. And we'll do a few more of those, lifting and lowering your feet's toes. The ball of the foot is coming up off the ground with the toes, and just the heel remains in contact with the ground. Now for the arch of our foot, let's curl the toes. That helps to keep the arch in your foot strong. So like I'm doing with my fingers, do this with your toes. Curl the toes, straighten them. So we're clenching the toes, straightening them. Remember to keep breathing. Check that posture. And engage your core by pulling that in a bit. All right, now we're going to move on to some with our thighs. So let's slide ourselves to the back of the chair. Want to make sure that you're sitting nice and tall still and bring your foot out in front. As much as you can, straighten the leg and point the toe up and bend the leg. Now I'm going to move my water bottle a little bit here. Let's straighten the opposite, bend the knee. Straighten and bend. Pointing the toe up so that you can engage your thigh muscles. Remember, if you need a little support in your low back, just grab a little cushion or a roll of towel. Straightening and bending, one leg at a time. Keep breathing, you're doing great. Let's do a few more of those, maybe 2 more pairs each leg. And let's do last pair. Straighten and bend, straighten and bend. Very good. Now we're going to do a little bit with our core. So let's come to the front of the chair. Slide forward. And we're going to do some lean backs. So I'll turn the chair so you can see me better. We're working on our core now. Let's sit up nice and tall, away from the backrest. Arms across your chest, and let's keep looking forward while we do this one. Slide your feet out a little bit so that you're really using your stomach muscles when we pull ourselves back up. So let's breathe in, leaning back, and breathing out, pulling up from the stomach. Breathing in, leaning back. Breathing out, pulling up. Really engage those core muscles of your abdomen and not using your shoulders or your legs to pull you up. Slowly coming straight with your back. Breathing in and out. Good. Should feel that in your abdominals. Now we're going to bring our feet back a little bit. We're going to be bending forward from your hips. So let's sit nice and tall and breathe in. Breathing out, let's bend forward. Sitting up nice and tall and bending forward. Try not to round the back. Keep the length in your back. Just bend from those hips and sit up nice and tall. Let's do a few more of those as we breathe. Breathing in and out. Using those back muscles this time to pull you up. Good. Last one. Excellent. Now, we're going to do a little bit of turning our legs inward and outward from the hips. So let's start by holding onto our chair, armrest, and take your right leg and gently put your little baby toe on the ground. So you're feeling your leg turning outward from your hip when you put your little baby toe on the ground. Now try gently flipping it over and putting your big toe gently on the ground, feeling that leg turning inward from the hip. Again, little baby toe, your hip is turning outward. And big toe on the ground, your hip is turning inward. Let's try that with the opposite leg. Gently that little toe on the ground. And gently flipping it over, putting the big toe on the ground. One more time, each leg. And remember, if anything doesn't feel right for you, if you're not comfortable with one of the movements, don't have to do it, okay? Just listen to your own body and act accordingly. One more time with that big toe. Now, let's straighten out our right leg, heel on the ground. We're going to bring our toe back and tap it on the ground by bending our knee like this. So straighten that leg out, heel touching the ground, then bend the knee, toe tap on the ground. Breathing in and out. Check that posture. Make sure you're still sitting nice and tall with me as we use these thigh muscles to lift and straighten that leg. Okay, now let's do it with the opposite leg. Left heel now coming out in front, straightening your leg, lifting it up and tapping the toe under the ground. Breathe. Just a couple more. And last one. Good. Now let's put our right leg out straight with the heel on the ground, the toe pointing up. We're just going to wave our foot side to side, keeping that heel on the ground. Feel how your leg is turning inward and outward from your hip as you wave that foot side to side. Let's do it with the opposite leg now. Straightening and keeping that heel in contact with the ground, waving your foot side to side. Good. Now let's do a stretch for the low back. Wide legs. Let's put our arms hanging down and let's breathe in. As we breathe out, let's reach down towards the ground. You can keep looking upwards so you don't get dizzy, but you're going to feel the stretch in your back. Let's just hold it there for a couple seconds. And if you feel comfortable, you can lower your head for a little bit and come back up. Now let's keep those wide legs. Interlock your fingers, turn them inside out, breathe in, breathe out, and reach forward now as far as you can, feeling that stretch in the inner thighs now, breathing. Very good. Now, let's bring our ankles, let's use our ankles to bring our toes inward, then our heels inward. Toes and heels. Let's walk those feet back out. Heels, toes, heels, toes. Let's do that again. Toes, heels, toes, heels. Now, we're going to straighten out one of our legs and make some ankle circles around with the feet. Let's try going the other way with that ankle. Good. Now let's do it with the opposite leg. Straighten your leg as much as you feel comfortable and make those ankle circles. Now let's go the other way. Nice, big, slow circles. Good. Now straighten that right leg and point your toe towards you and away. Towards you and away. Remember, you can always Hold onto your armrest for a little extra support. And with your opposite leg now, straightening it, toe points away, toe points towards you. Breathe. Good. Now let's do some more stretching. Let's bring those fingers together, turning them inside out and reaching up, up, up as high as you feel comfortable before you press your arms backwards and down. Again, breathing in, reaching up as high as you're comfortable, pushing the arms back and down. Now let's give a stretch for our shoulders. Take your right arm, place it outside your left leg and gently leaning forward to feel a stretch behind your shoulder area. And now with the opposite arm, left arm outside your right leg, breathing in and breathing out, bending forward slightly till you feel that stretch gently behind your left shoulder. Good. Now let's take our right hand, place it on the right shoulder, lift your elbow up wherever you feel the stretch. I want you to hold it with your opposite hand, lifting that elbow up and breathing in through the nose for 4 seconds and breathing out through the mouth for 4 seconds. Let's do the opposite arm. Hand on your shoulder, lifting that elbow and concentrate on your breathing as you stretch the tricep muscle. Very good. Now let's take our right arm and bring that up again over our head, leaning slightly to the left. One more time. Breathe. And the opposite side. Just a slight bend is perfectly fine to feel that stretch on your side. Now let's do some with our hands, making fists as tight as you can, stretching them as wide as you can. Give those fingers and hands a good stretch. Breathing in and out. Let's give the fingers a wiggle. Very good. Now let's lift up our right knee. We're going to hug this knee towards our body. Now, even a little bit like this is great. Bring that knee as close to you as you feel comfortable by interlocking the fingers outside your shin and sitting nice and tall. Keep breathing. Nice posture with your back. Try not to bend forward. Stay nice and proud through the upper body. Now let's do the opposite knee, lifting that knee up and hugging it close as you're comfortable. Concentrate on how your body feels, taking nice, deep breaths. Good. Now, if you feel comfortable, try taking your right leg and crossing it over your left. Let's just hold on to the legs and sit nice and tall like this. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. If you feel like you can, maybe you can bend forward a little bit from your hips, just a wee bit as you breathe out. Feeling a stretch in your hips. Now let's switch sides. Bring your opposite leg, the left leg, over the right and sitting nice and tall with your back. Concentrate on your breathing. If it feels okay, maybe you can bend forward slightly from your hips as you breathe out. Good. Now, let's take our right leg and straightening that leg out with the heel on the ground and your toe pointing up. Keep your other foot flat on the ground for support so you're not leaning forward too much. Sitting nice and tall, let's breathe in and breathing out, slightly bending forward from your hips till you feel the back of the leg getting a nice stretch. Just hold it wherever you feel the stretch and breathe. Keeping your head up so you don't feel dizzy. And that helps to keep your back straighter. Good. Let's do the opposite leg, the same thing. Straightening your leg out by coming towards the front of your chair. Foot is flat on the other side. Breathe in. And last stretch, breathing out. Very good. Now, let's just do another postural exercise. Bring one arm up in front, point the thumb backwards. Bring one arm down low, point your pinky finger backwards. Slowly switch your arms as you breathe in. Press both arms back. And breathing in, slowly switching. Press both arms back, breathing out. One more time, breathing in. And out. And the other side, breathing in. And out. Let's bring the arms up as we breathe in. And bring them down as you breathe out. Again. Remember, keeping good posture helps to prevent abnormal postural fixations. So this way, if we keep practicing good posture, it'll help prevent us from getting stuck in a bad position. Let's do this as our last exercise for today for our posture. Sit nice and tall and breathe in with those fingertips at your sides of the head, elbows out to the side. As you breathe out, press the elbows back gently. And one more time, relax the elbows, breathing in. And breathing out, pressing back. Feel those shoulder blades come together. Very good. Let's finish off with a deep breath in, arms coming up. Hands together, breathing out. Open those arms, breathe in. And breathing out. Remember, good posture allows a lot more space in your body cavities for your lungs to expand, for your digestive system to work. So keeping everything lifted and in good alignment helps every part of the body work better like it's meant to. So keep up the good work with me. Posture and stretch. You'll see more of these episodes. And everyone have a great day. Remember, you can check out our videos on our YouTube channel, comment anytime. And thanks for working hard with me.